mean, look behind the alley. There's a lot of people.
I mean, there's alcohol everywhere, drugs everywhere, and if you really think about it, your kids can get it. I mean,
it really doesn't matter. Like, people like have it in their homes. You have it at parties. You have it like at family events. You know, it's so easily accessible when no one's looking.
A parent can't truly prevent it, but they could speak with their kids, and teenagers will understand. You know, the parents are caring, so that may prevent it a little. But I think a major part of it is parents talking with teenagers and at family parties. They may be there at sporting events, but they're not going to be there at friends' parties. They're not going to be there in school.
So should parents forbid their kids from going to parties if that's where the alcohol is at?
Well, actually,
they shouldn't forbid them because that's a totally different topic. But they should just talk to their kids about it and tell them about the effects and why it's not good, you know, like why it can mess you up.
So what if a parent also drinks? Do you think that influences?
Yeah, that can influence.
I think that doesn't even matter.
You said yes.
It's like saying if the parent drinks, then it's okay for the person to drink. The little
totally
kid, you know.
Well, not really, because
I think it's more.
if the parent drinks, the kid sees what's gonna happen to him. You know, he gets an idea. I don't want to eat like that.
But what if nothing happens to them though? Eventually something will happen. But I mean,
that when your father is drinking, that's like the only time that he gets to be emotional.
That's right.
Well, that's everybody's.
Oh yeah, that's
That's everybody's. Any Mexican family knows that.
Knows what?
He posted on cheras, and he starts crying, and he tells you he loves him.
what he said.
And then he finds out it's not really you.
He's talking to the wall.
Yeah.
Or to the chair.
To the
Dude.
emotion.
Either one.
And it actually shows that they have the courage to talk to their children. Even though, like, I as a teenager, I do have to accept that when my mom's talking to me about a topic that's a little serious, I kind of get tired, like, yeah, I already know it, don't tell me. But just hearing it over and over again, it gets stuck in your head.
It's really annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to put it though. If your kids think of you while they're drinking or like doing what they have to do, they'll think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. My mom told me not to do it. Or like if you talk to them the way you need to talk to them instead of yelling all the time, then maybe it'll get in their head and they'll think twice about it.
So how can parents and youth build trust?
Communication.
And it can't start when you're a teenager and parents want to talk about sex and alcohol and drugs. It needs to start from when you're small, and they need to be able to talk to you from when you're little, because then the trust starts building. If they try to talk to you when you're like 15 and you've already been exposed to all these things, then it's pointless.
Yeah.
And that's when teenagers become frustrated and annoyed.
Okay, so start early.
Yeah.
Start early.
Age 3.
Age 3?
No. Just like always keep a good communication with your kids, like from when they're young, and like grow up with that communication and don't let that bond break.
What is that? What does good communication look like? Describe it.
Just like being able to talk, you know, like having your kids trust you with just about anything.
Okay.
Having that communication, that daily little, even if it's a small talk, you know, where it's easy to talk to your parent and their parents are willing to hear and teenagers are willing to hear.
So how does a parent prove themselves trustworthy?
By being understanding, by listening, by communicating.
Like no matter what the child tells them, whatever we tell them, they can get mad. To a certain extent, I would understand anger in some situations, but they need to understand what's going on, and that would build trust.
Okay, so understanding, trust, communication. All right, any last messages? Okay.